Okay, what is up YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys with the Sky Striker deck profile. I'm just redoing it and uploading it in case there is, well, there shouldn't be any sound quality issues, and I'm just making sure that it is re-uploaded. And pretty much it's just an update to the Sky Striker since the new TCG Forbidden Limited list. So, without further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to start off with my monster lineup, which is simply just 3 copies of Sky Striker Ace Ray, with 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, and 3 copies of Effect Meddler. So that is it for the monsters. Then for my traps, spells, I'm running 3 copies of Sky Striker Mobilize Engaged. Then I'm running 2 copies of Sky Striker McCormary Hercules Base. Then I'm running 2 copies of Sky Striker Airspace Area 0. 1 copy of Widow Anchor. 1 copy of Hornet Drone. 1 copy of Afterburner and Jamming Wave. 1 copy of Eagle Booster. 1 copy of Shark Cannon. And 1 copy of Multi-Roll. So that is it for the spell. Well, for the Sky Striker spells. For the regular spells, I'm running 3 copies of Mystical Typhoon, 3 copies of Foolish Burial of Goods, 1 Metal Foes Fusion, 1 Terraforming, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Upstar Goblin, and 1 Scapegoat. So that is it for all of the spells. Then, for my trap cards, I'm running the Solemn Brigade, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, and 3 copies of There Can Only Be One. So, hold on, my camera went off there. There we go. Alright, so that is it for the main deck. 40 cards in total. And give me 1 second so I can get into the extra deck. Alright. Alright, so my extra deck is as follows. It's 3 copies of Sky Striker Ace Shizuku, 2 copies of Sky Striker Ace Hayate, 1 copy of Sky Striker Ace Kina, and 1 copy of Sky Striker Ace Kagari, 2 copies of Lanphosius, 2 copies of Malice Radiant, 1 copy of Tapologic Bomber Dragon, 1 copy of Series of Skull Dread, 1 copy of Barrel Low Dragon, and 1 copy of Barrel Sword Dragon. So that is it for the main and the extra deck. So, going into it, pretty much Sky Striker Ace Ray is going to be the main focus of your deck. She's going to be the one that's going to be on the field to go into your Sky Striker Ace extra deck monsters, and then if any of them leave the field by battle or through an effect, you'll special summon her from the graveyard in their place. And pretty much with these, with these 4, you get a good variety of what the Sky Striker can do. I'm still waiting for the next Sky Striker monster because it could be the possibility we'll get one in the OCG. We did get a new monster, and if you haven't seen that video, please check that out because I was really excited to see we got a new Sky Striker main deck monster. So, Shizuku, her ability is that you can decrease the attack and defense of all your opponent's monsters by 100, and that's up to the number of spell cards in your graveyard. So with a lot of the spells in the graveyard anyway, that's gonna be a non-issue. Um, During the end phase of the turn, she was special summoned. You can add a Sky Striker spell card that you did not use this turn from your deck to your hand. So you can use the first turn her, and then go and grab. Mainly, you want to grab Mobilize Engage. You can grab Widow Anchors, just like a little kid stuff that you need from the deck. We have Hayate, who has the ability to attack your opponent directly. Whenever she inflicts battle damage, you can send a Sky Striker card from your deck to your graveyard. So you can send a copy of Ray. If you use Hornet Drones to summon Hayate, you can send any of the spells, and then Kagiri can come and get the spell. And she's just a free direct attack. You have Kina here to help you against burn. Now, she may not be the best heal, but she does give at least some type of recovery. Every time a Sky Striker spell is activated, every time a spell card is activated, each time it resolves, you'll gain 1,000 life points. I forget what the rest of Kina's effect is. It's probably not that. Yeah, you summon on this card, you target one face-up monster your opponent controls, and can't attack until your opponent's next turn, which is just a stall out. But for the most part, you're using Kina for recovery. But Kagiri is the one that you really take the focus on, because whenever she is special summoned, you can add one Sky Striker spell, no, one Sky Striker card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. That way, you can get, mobilizes back, you can get Widow Anchors and stuff like that, and not have to hassle, especially with multi-roll. But for the most part, she is one of the bigger attackers, because her other ability is that for every spell card in your graveyard, she gains 100 additional attacks. So it's kind of the opposite of Shizuku. But it does help out through a lot of various situations, especially if you just want a big beater. But she is at 1 because of how amazing her effects are. Especially the whole recovery from the graveyard when she's also summoned. So that is pretty much it for the setup for the main Sky Striker cards. And then in terms of the hand traps, I mean, your hand traps can vary, but mine are pretty much Ash Blossom, Joyous Springs, and Effect Veiler, just to add some additional defense, especially against card effects that will be activating. Ash Blossom can negate those. So, Veiler will come in hand. I mean, you can throw in Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. You can throw in Bella and her Haunted Mansion. You can even throw in Underroot if you wanted to feel a little new and frisky about the game. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the spell. Well, for my monsters. As far as the spells and traps go, we'll start off with the spells. We have, of course, one of the biggest Sky Striker cards to be used, that is Mobilize Engage. Search your deck for any Sky Striker card and add it to your hand. And then if you have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, you can draw 1 card from this. And the way the spells in here flow, you can easily get to that additional draw as much as possible, and hopefully draw into another engage, because these are not once per turn. So that is there. And then we have Hercules base for recovery, because you can pop this with multi-roll, you can pop this with Area Zero, and then get its additional. We'll get its additional effect to Pot of Avarice of 3 of your Sky Striker cards and sending them back to the deck. So essentially, if you want to get Kagiri back and reuse her again, the only sad thing is you can't get a copy of this card and add it back to your deck. But its other additional effects, you can equip it to to a monster. It can't attack directly, but it can attack monster. It can attack twice on a turn. And then what's additional? Oh, if you have 3 or more spell cards in your graveyard, you can draw off of this card every time you destroy a monster. So that's the Hercules base. Then we go on to Area Zero, the field spell, and with this card, you want to combine it with Ray for the most part, because Ray, well, either you want to combine it with Ray, or you want to combine it with a card like Hercules base. Because if you trigger this to blow up this, what the effect will do is you'll escalate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if any of them are Sky Striker card, you can add it to your hand and then destroy the other target. So Ray will trigger herself, so you can put a Sky Striker Link monster on the field, and then you'll still get the effects to go off. Or the Hercules base will trigger, and it'll send other cards back to the deck. So at least you get a ton of recovery on that. And you also pull up Metal Foes Fusion if that ever becomes a dead situation. And then if ever this is destroyed, you can go get Ray from the deck and then special summon her. And I think you also get any Sky Striker ace monster from your deck and summon it. So when Rose comes, Rose will be, of course, the easier target, another target as well. We have Widow Anchor at 1 with Hornet Drones at 1 and Multi-Roll at 1. So these are pretty much D1s for the Sky Striker spell cards that are at 1. The Hornet Drone, of course, you can get a token off of it. Sky Striker Ace token. And then that monster will gain 1500 attack and defense if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard. You have Widow Anchor, which is another effect veiler, but it's also a brain control. If your opponent, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, then the multi-roll can pop anything on the field to give the turn of freebies for your spell cards. They cannot, your search after spell cards, they cannot be negated. And then during the end phase of the turn, any number of spells that you play this turn, you can set. That means search after spells on your side of the field. but they are banished due to if they leave the field, which is the only thing that I have a downside to. But it's still a really good card when it comes to a lot of the defensive effects that this card has. And then for the rest of the Sky Striker spells, of course, we have both Afterburner and Jamming Wave. Jamming Wave to destroy set cards. Afterburner to destroy face-up monsters, and then their additional effects. Afterburner can destroy spells and traps. Jamming Wave can destroy monsters. And then Eagle Boost and Shot Cannon. Shot Cannon is DD Crow, but you can get a reborn off of the monster that you banish if you have 3 or more spells in the grave. And then if you, with Eagle Boost, it will protect your monster from any monster from being destroyed, but will be unaffected by card effects except for its own. But if you have 3 or more spells in the grave, it'll make them battle immune. So that can come in handy. And then for the rest of the spells, we have Mystical Space Typhoon to deal with spells and trap cards. But I also encourage this card over Twin Twister if in some situations, just because of the fact it is a freebie spell. So you can't judge. If you want to play Twin Twister, you can just swap them out. I am playing the Foolish Burial of Goods with the Metalfoes Fusion combo because, of course, this will be additional spell in the grave. This will be additional spell in the grave. The only time you really want to get this back is if you want the additional draw. But this doesn't hurt as well because you have Area 0 as effect. You have multi-rolls effect, so you can easily get this card active again if it becomes a dead draw. And then, what was it? Terraforming to search for Area 0. Reinforce an army to search for Ray. Upside Goblin to search for just for additional draw, and you have Scapegoat for the bit of defense, but link monsters as well. And then for the trap cards, we have There Can Only Be One. This has become a really good card in multi-typed decks, especially those who want to combat the decks that have their own tiling to set up and they need other attributes. No, they don't have, like, they just focus on one type. And this card can come in very handy, especially with Sky Strikers, because it really doesn't hurt Sky Strikers because most of the time you're only controlling one monster anyway. Then I just threw in the Solemn Brigade just to have the Solemn Brigade in here. I could have upped it and dropped one of the There Can Only Be Ones, but I just want to have one of each for that defensive setup. And then for the extra deck, I've already talked about the Sky Strikers. The Lathios is here for just the link markers, an additional link 2, and then that's the same thing with Malice Radiant, but I am running Scapegoat, so I can at least have that little bit of defense as well. Then we got all these 4s, which is also the reason why I'm running those 4 rank 2s. We have the Topologic Bomber Dragon, which has some history with the Sky Strikers, because literally if you put any monster in the zone that it points to, destroy all the monsters on the field, and then when he attacks, he'll inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the monster that he destroyed by battle, which can be very much in handy, and you just really don't want to special summon in any of the areas he points to. This is like supposed to be one of your end-all cards, if any case. The Saryuja Skull Dread is just here for the draw power, and then just the whole setup, and just to be a big beater. And so same thing with pretty much the last 2 as well, Barrel Sword and Barrel Load. But you also use these in combination because I do side in, what's her name? Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, because a lot of people do play a variation of these 4, so if you can hit it as soon as possible, take advantage of it, especially if you're siding in Winter Cherries. But that is pretty much it for the deck profile, you guys, and I hope you all enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. ACJ signing out.